As a National Assembly, we should sit back and understand what is going on. I'm seated with some members of that committee, Madam Speaker, and they are expressing satisfaction on what's going on. Madam Speaker, few fundamental issues about such a thing. I don't understand how such a program can go on without public participation. This is a house of rules. We enact laws. We are supposed to follow the laws. Two, Madam Speaker, the greatest systems, most sophisticated, KRA, name them, I've never heard of a system that cost 1 or 4 billion. A system, Madam Speaker. I'm told the system, the platform that NHIF ran on, they only needed 700 million to upgrade. But a whooping 104 billion. Madam Speaker, you must also understand that these people did single sourcing. The government went for single sourcing for such an amount of money. We cannot allow this to go on in this country. We are saying, take a step back, go and listen to what Kenyans are saying. We cannot take all the important infrastructure of this government in one foreigner called ADANI. We cannot. We cannot give him the airport. We cannot give him Ketraco. We cannot give him our health system. It's going to collapse. Lastly, Madam Speaker, I have read and interrogated this statement very well. The benefits that NHIF was giving were superior than the benefits this system is going to give, Madam Speaker. I want to beseech this National Assembly that when the country is headed in a wrong direction, we must say no. Let's step back and listen. This thing is a bad thing. It is causing damage to our country. We will not have a country at the end of the day. Mr. Chairman, sit back, go and follow processes. You cannot award a contractor of 1 or 4 billion by single sourcing. You cannot. The eating is just too much. We should not allow this eating and looting in this country.
Speaker, I'm shocked beyond belief. I'm shocked that a member of parliament can come and stand here and justify the massive rip-off. 104 billion, Honorable Speaker, just to run a system. Honorable Speaker, to be honest, Chairman, we beseech you. You are a Kenyan. Be mindful of the people of Kenya. 104 billion going to the hands of insiders of this government is a rip-off. We cannot afford to steal from Kenya to this extent, Honorable Speaker. How heartless can you be? Just go back, Honorable Chair. Single sourcing, 104 billion. Where on earth? Just go, reflect, think about it, involve your committee members, and surely tell yourself, this, you are a Catholic like me. You are a Christian. You cannot afford to steal when you have no remorse.
What is a bit sad is that you can imagine somebody who was going for dialysis does not know what to do when they arrive in hospital. How I wish the Ministry of Health can put in a public notice saying, if I have an NHIF and I've been going through chronic diseases, dialysis or whatever, I arrive in hospital with my NHIF, you put me in the system, you give me this SHIF card or whatever it is, it will help us. But lastly, if we want to be really people who look in humanity in eyes, I am hoping that that system never costed us 104 billion when the president is struggling with a Eurobond, which again we did the worst mistake at that time. That Eurobond costed us 16% on a dollar, when that time Egypt was getting the same Eurobond with 3%. Let us not go back to those things that happened 2013, 2014, and we are back here. It will be as wrong, as evil as it has never happened.
Given that some of the most sophisticated systems that we have in this country are KRA, Safaricom, MPS, and a few others that cost less than 10 billion Kenya shillings, I'm wondering why we should genuinely spend 104 billion shillings on a system that those who created the NHIF system were willing to upgrade for less than $1 billion shillings. 104 billion shillings is adequate to take care of primary school children. For 10 years, it's 9 billion per year. They would have lunch in school. Secondly, Madam Speaker, why this system should offer an inferior benefit, yet members now pay more. Imagine, Madam Speaker, they are saying in a family, you can only benefit, only one individual can benefit to go for diabetes tests per year, one person, and it's only 4,000 shillings. Only one person can benefit on matters to do with dental, and it's about 2,000 shillings. Only one member in a family can benefit with optical medical care. It is absurd given what we had in NHIF. If indeed NHIF had issues, our focus should have been to review the claims management department. And today, Madam Speaker, I would like to bring to your attention that even in this social health authority, there is a scheme to outsource the core mandate of this particular authority, which is the claims management department. And that will be a loss of funds that would have been used to support poor Kenyans. Madam Speaker, this is something that I've been to request that through our committee, we step back and look at I've forgotten to mention, in our committee, we requested the ministry to produce even one photo of a public participation event. They could not produce even one. There was no public participation anywhere in this country. So, Madam Speaker, I would request as a member of that particular committee, and there is a lot that we can talk about. We step back and review this and even the cost. I forgot to mention also that the companies that benefited from this particular contract have never developed any kind of this system anywhere in the world. One of them was just registered the other day in July. So you can imagine the haste in which those who intend to benefit from this had.
We were not satisfied that enough effort was made to get other institutions or other partners that would provide this at a lesser cost, even compete. It was not clear to us how Safaricom got the request for proposal and is the only one that got the request proposal. Why not others? And we said we will need that information later. Madam Speaker, it was not clear to us whether due diligence was done on the partners in the consortium where Safaricom was the lead, particularly Apiero, because there had been a lot of information about Apiero. That we did not get, and we actually at the end of the meeting said we are either going to get that or we'll do it ourselves. The ministry did not give us enough information on that due diligence. Madam Speaker, it was not clear to us how this money is going to be paid. When we asked the PS said it is the users. And Madam Speaker, this system is huge. It will even involve the private health institutions. It will involve the regulatory authorities of all the regulatory authorities and the health sector. It will even involve the health facilities in the counties. And it was not clear how these users will actually pay for it. And we were informed that they are going to do a cash flow assimilation of how this will be paid. And we had not reached that level as yet. With that, Madam Speaker, we were not satisfied and we are surprised that our chair is reading this in this House. When it comes to transition, we were sure that the people were not given enough information, because what Honorable Lachi was asking was, if you have NHIF and we are transiting to SHA, will you get treatment? We were told, yes, when you go there, you will get treatment. But that information is not with the people. So we said, what is it that is being launched? You can launch the beginning of a process, but you cannot say you have shifted and people therefore will not get that service. So we were not satisfied. On outsourcing, on claims, that was one of the biggest issues we raised during the discussion on this law here. We asked and they said, for the time being, SHA will do it itself. And we are not sure whether that is so, because the law provided that May. We were concerned about the May. Those who are here may remember. So, Madam Speaker, this, in the view of the committee, we have not reached a conclusion about this.
This is a statement. We are in order number 7, which is statement. And the Honorable Speaker, you allowed me to make a statement on behalf of the ministry on the rollout from SHIF, from NHIF to SHIF. That is on the rollout of the universal health coverage, which is happening today. That was the basis in which I was given this position to make that statement. Unfortunately, my colleagues are assuming this is a committee report. No, it is not a committee report. This is a statement. I think that should be very distinguished. Secondly, Madam Speaker, the points which have been raised by my colleagues, Honorable Nyekal and the other members, are not in relevance to my statement. None of them has disputed any of what I've raised in this statement. They have actually gone ahead to make their own points based on what they know. And I think that is very wrong. It is based on hearsay. And Madam Speaker, when I brought this statement, the aim of this statement is to reassure Kenyans that today we are rolling out, we are moving from NHIF to SHIF. And when we are moving from NHIF to SHIF, people are worried outside there. Are we going to access our health services? That is the point. And in this report, I said 9 million of the people who are in NHIF are going to be moved to SHIF today or moving forward. It is not a one-off event. This is a transition. Today is the start, and it is moving. They have already registered about 2 million people into the SHIF system. Among the SHIFs, people are talking of system. What is here is a digital superhighway. SHIF is just a small, the ERP for SHIF is just a small component of it. The rest is a huge component. And members, my committee members, Honorable Kibagendi, Honorable Nyekal, they are aware. And this is not, unfortunately, I listened to you. I didn't dispute what you are saying, but you are talking from an ignorant point. Because what is happening is you have...
Give him a chance to complete explaining.
You have, unfortunately, and this is where we get problems, because you want to go and explain to your people, and you don't have facts. In this digital superhighway, it is connected to the national registration pariah and many other systems within it. It's a huge thing. It has two components. When we now go into the digital superhighway, it has two components. And this is not a SHA system. This is a digital health authority system. It's a Ministry of Health system. So what happens is you have Safaricom being a lead agency with others who have come in to invest in two components. They are investing in infrastructure and maintenance and service for 12 years. Okay? And the procurement method, as I read it here, which they used, is the specially permitted procurement procedure. That is as per the ministry. Yeah? And they presented their documents, which I said, I didn't read that part, but they went to the Attorney General has commented, the National Treasury has commented about it, and they've given them a go-ahead. We are not stopping anything that is happening there. The committee is still in the process of looking at looking at certain areas, which we agree. That is the committee position. But this is the ministry has its position.